I heard on the Unionville that we were being purged and persecuted in Unionville, Michigan, that there's a lawyer been hired at $150 an hour to turn around and persecute the people in Unionville, Michigan. So I think we should turn around and do a little bit of film blurb about Unionville, because this is getting old, but it's been continuous. But the spread of the persecution is spreading like the virus. It's going from here to there to there to there to there. And the more they do it, the better they're getting at it. The better they get at it, the more they want to do. And the more they want to do, the better they want to get at it. And it's like a bunch of wolves or coyotes attacking sheep. And if you don't fight them at the beginning, you're not going to be able to have a constitution left. Just like Donald Trump has turned around fighting them with his, I mean, we got 4, is there 5 court cases. He's now got himself a picture in the docket anyway, and hopefully Mr. Trump will be successful in his endeavors to turn around, but I am just being purged here, local entity, turned around. They don't like the way I live, they don't like the way I am, and they're anxious to turn around and make me behave. That's been under the auspices of the Blight Control Boys, so we're turning around and doing a remodel, restoration of it, and unfortunately, I'm not much of a sign painter, as you well know, but I'm starting doing what I can do and do what I can do and go where I can go, and nothing wrong with it. I guess the guy, being as old as I am, trying to protect the Constitution, but that's why I said I was going to do 53 years, 53 years ago. Well, anyway, I can't afford a greenhouse, and I needed a greenhouse to start my plants. So up came the opportunity to get this former 1950-something travel trailer, which the neighbor turned around, decided he was going to turn around and put into the yellow bin, or red bin, which the case may be. But I told him I wanted to make a greenhouse of it, so he let me turn around and start the reconstruction of it. And so here we are. Be careful now, don't fall and trip. If you are, send me half. So what I did was, got some windows, and then what we did was we have got some OSB board for the bottom. Then I extended out the back here so I can put a door in for my window, so I can have go down through the row of fail garden. And then I have the side door here, so I have an access door here. Unfortunately, we don't seem to do everything as fast as everybody wants us to do. So anyway, it's on the program. We have the OSB board. We have the windows. There's one thing we're lacking. We don't have enough money for the screws. I wish we had more money for the screws, but the screws have gotten expensive. And let's see. But what I did was I ripped pieces of the trimmings of the sawmill, and then started forming a form for it so that I could turn it around and reinforce it. And then we have, so it's pretty solid, and it's not $2,500 because a greenhouse is $2,500. So, and I'm going to put a wood stove that I paid $10 for into it, but I know it's not a perfect situation, but we got to do what we got to do and get where we can go and do what we can do, and that's the way it is. Well, Ho, 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 and away we go. Now, let me turn the radio off. Well, this has been kind of a tragedy in the making. First of all, let's start off at the beginning of the back. I met this young fellow over at the motel. Seemed like a pretty decent guy. He turned around and we canvassed back and forth about trucking and so whatever. And he told me that he wanted to get into the barbecue business. And after he turned around and said to me he wanted to get in the barbecue business, he sold me the red pickup truck. I drive the red and blue pickup truck for $50, and then I got a chance to turn around and put the rest of the $700-800 into it in order to make it run down the road. But anyway, after a few trips to his church and after his opportunity to turn around and get with the program that during COVID I went down to Topeka. The day before, he said he wanted to get into the barbecue business, and he wanted to use my shop to build a barbecue. So lo and behold, I get on Facebook, I guess it was, and this barbecue from the top, the barrel and the trailer, but I didn't have any floorboards in it, and it didn't have any sideboards on it. So he said he wanted to get in the barbecue business, but after we bought it, I needed to have him pull it up out of Detroit, because I bought it in Indiana, Columbus, Indiana it was. And so he said he couldn't do that because he had to put windows in his house. Oh, okay. Or his wife was going to have a cow. Evidently, she had a cow. But he couldn't help me out and turn around and pick me up the trailer, so I had to bring this thing up there. It didn't have any floorboards, it didn't have any sideboards, and so it was kind of a bare bones situation. And then we started putting the floorboards in it, and then the sideboards on it. So I have an opportunity to put it into the church group for a barbecue program for Goodwill. And my blue van is down there in Sandusky. It's going to be the lead vehicle for this thing, or put some graphics on it. But lo and behold, at the sale last spring, guess what showed up? My $3 cook stove. Well, here's an opportunity and a half. Most barbecues, they turn around to barbecue and they just barbecue and all this, does barbecue and everything else. This one here, let's just turn that thing off for a minute. It's actually a nightmare. They didn't put any air draft control underneath it, so you got to open the ash bin in order to have extra air control. And then when you open it up, they turned around and they've got it so they had 2-inch fire brick in it, but the situation is they put a couple of openings in the back of it for a water jacket to go in it, but there's no way to put a water jacket in until you turn around, kind of open, and turn around and put the water jacket in. So it's one of those deals. It looks good, it looks pretty, and the guy that sells the horse, the difference between a horse being worth $50 and worth $50,000 is the size of the ring on the guy's horse. And this guy had a ring on his finger selling these wood cook stoves. Now, this one is real handy there, and it gets nice and hot too. So I've only had one fire in it so far, but we're in a learning procedure. But I did have them change the controls for the vent there, and of course we needed to get that done again. Because what it does is that the smoke, when you start the stove, in the firebox, the smoke comes right straight through here to the outlet, okay? But then when you want the firebox to work, then you turn around and you shut it off, so this shuts off, whichever case may be, so the fire continues over, around, and down, and then, and down, and under, and then it comes out, hit the bottom, you see, so it goes up, so that way it heats the oven all the way around. That's how that works. The same as this one here.
And is that another stove of yours over there?
That's another one. This is one we bought. This is one that we're going to send back to sale. This is we call the Mighty Oak wood stove. So when you kind of see in the old John Wayne pictures.
Yep.
Okay.
Pot belly.
The pot belly stove. But and this is about the way I bought it. So I turned around and reworked it over. And I used it for 5 years in the living room. Well, unfortunately, we broke and it's actually a coal and a wood stove, whichever way you want to do it. But the coal, being a coal stove, this is cast iron there. And then we have the rings to go on the outside, so forth, like that. And when we get, so there's 3 of them, but what happened was I was shaking the ashes out of the stove, and I broke the bottom piece, and so we got a new piece coming for it. Now it looks like HWELL, but unfortunately it wasn't so bad until I took it out of the living room. But I turned around and we took it over to the fellow to have it worked on. But of course, his itinerary and my itinerary are 2 different things. So we brought it back here, so we're working on it to turn around and get it over to the. There's a guy in Indiana that has an antique auction in the fall of the year, and so it's not going to look like that anymore. It's going to be all prettied up. Well,
and here is another wood stove.
pardon me?
And here is another wood stove.
Well, that's the another wood cook stove. That one's going to go in the trailer that we're getting. That one's got. Well, here we are at the water tower. In order to qualify and meet the standards of all of here in county, we must have running water. So thereby which we turn around to our own personal water tower. As you can see, we use logs, and we turn around and wired them together, and then we have our water. So since we have a problem with going to have we may have to worry about electric and no water, etc., etc., etc. Sitting around and we have to have running water on the place. Is this running? It's
Absolutely.
running. It's running. Yep. So we need to qualify to have my hose back later. Now, you can turn it back on. Now this is the first one I built. The next one I'm going to build is going to be twice as high. And turn it around, we're going to make a double stack ABS container. So we have 700 gallons.
Very nice.
350. Here we are. Back in the auction again. I have one boat at the front there, turned around as a garden piece. and I was intending to turn around and buying another boat for a garden piece on that side, but it turned around, we chased it to $90. But what's happened is our food price, our bridge card has been discontinued. We're not discontinued, but eroded. We were getting pretty decent money, but now we don't get as much. So now I had the opportunity, well, Jack, if you're going to keep eating, you got to go fishing.
Nice.
So here we are at the auction sale, at Argyle auction sale, and lo and behold, turned around, they have all the boats lined up. So I went and bid on one, and I didn't get it. We got up to $60, and I didn't get it. Well, lo and behold, the next one up here, this one was full of leaves. It was full of leaves right to the top there, and turned around. We cleaned the leaves out and give it a little bath and with the trailer. And then so I started off at $10 with it. So that somebody else went to 20, and then they went to 25, and I went to a high price of $35 for the whole thing, lock, stock, and barrel. And I'm the new owner of this $35 boat.
Does the motor run?
We don't know yet. We haven't got that far yet. We don't know. We don't even know it'll swim yet. We think it'll probably swim. And unfortunately, the problem is, I didn't buy the one that somebody had cut a flat deck off of. Turned around and should have bought it too, because it came with a trailer. But it come with a trailer too. And unfortunately, I have lost the receipt for the boat. So I have to chase down Argyle Fireman's sale, the fireman, to turn around and get the paperwork to start all over again, to turn around and get the boat tagged and registered. And we're waiting. We are under I'm trying to think of the right word. What we thought was,
Duress.
We are under duress on the with this situation, and me being the nuisance of Port Austin Township.
Now the township inspector was also the marine enforcement man, Mr. Atwell. Will he help you get this thing seaworthy?
Oh yes, of course. You'll be right at it. Yes, you'll be right at it. Yum, yum, yum. Yeah, turn around. Yeah, when he fabricated the evidence to go to court, when he turned around and cherry-picked his pictures, when he turned around and took the pictures of my gardens, because his buddy, Mr. Whatchamacallit, was also a captain of the boat ship, turned around. So they are like crew that wish to turn around and persecute me and make me behave, which I'm anxious to do. I'm going to start behaving real quick.
Very nice.
As soon as I'm 95. I think it's an Alzheimer's. Our mascot. And our guardians. Don't forget our guardians.
The guardians of freedom.
Yes. And rolling well. Gotta put the plates back. Yeah. Safety pays. I know we're supposed to use tinder and turn around and start with paper and everything else, but I, for about 120 seconds, this is the way to get the wood stove kicking off. And then it'll start smoking at the top. There's also smoke on the outside. We haven't used the stove cement yet, but we're going to have to turn around and you can only get it up to 200-degree temperatures. So I'm going to build a firebox right here. And I have the parts for the firebox, and we're going to add a 6-inch stovepipe on the top of it. Hopefully we can get something going pretty soon with this.
Let's see the top view here.
Oh, do I see the top view? Rice and whatchamacallit with it. And then Austin had, I ate some, and then Austin had some.
Now, are you cooking with green wood?
I'm just cooking with wood. I imagine it is green. It's not dry.
And the origin of the wood is Amish?
Pardon me?
Amish wood?
Well, it came out of the sawmill.
From Amish.
Yeah. All the ones that we cut in that pile over there for firewood.
And it would be slab wood.
It was slabwood.
Do you think it's better to call this area Slabwood Flat, Slabwood Junction, or Slabwood Hollow?
I don't think it's good for anything like that.
Or Slabwood Shores, since you're close to Lake Huron.
You got the camera working?
Go full power, as hot as it can go.